Well, I decided to come on again, and it's still morning. I'm still in my pajamas, but did decide that there was a little other thing I wanted to kind of demonstrate here as far as how we're getting ready for Christmas in July. And I've shown you these little poplar Santas now, and there's a certain step we're going to take in this video. And what we're going to do is we are going to paint the faces and the beards. So this is how we're going to work about this. And then we've kind of got some little flesh colored paint here, acrylic. And what we do is we are going to sort of like put it on, start here with putting it on the forehead of this little Santa Claus here, and kind of see how this is going to turn out when it comes in the end. And then we've kind of got where, we get this much in. We're going to try to kind of take care of what's next and come over here on the cheek, kind of take care of that little bit of mess there. And so when we come down right into it, it's just going to be a little face that's going to show when we come through to the work. And then finally get along the little eyeballs as well. I say that this kind of work is just making itself to us so we see a little brighter image of how Santa goes. And I sort of told you about I can't think of what the name of the place was. I think it was called Images of Santa or something like that, or Expressions of Santa, where that lady in Berea makes the polymer clay Santas, one of which I've purchased, a safari Santa on an elephant. Well, this is how we go along here, making out the face just like this, and kind of put a little bit extra line into it, make it so it's going to turn out so well that we see a little work be done in it. And then finally just put the little extra work and time into what we do, and come down to where we see a little face make its way. That's what we got there. We're going to take the same little step on this other one as well. Try to put the extra type of work in here, and there's going to be a point where all this is going to dry up, and we can always come back and work on it a little bit more after the paint dries in certain areas, and we can come back and take care of it in others. And so this is where we come up with the work, make it so that Santa shall be a piece of work art, and then show how we're working ourselves along, make it so we just brighten our days, brighten our paths. Oh, the work is coming along and making its way to us, so we see bright little Santa Clauses making our ways, making our days, making our years. Oh, I tell y'all that this little work shall brighten us too, see a little light in us, make us so we see a better day, greater days, finer days. I say that this is just one of those things where we sort of go along the pattern, and sometimes it comes out for us differently than the book. I'll tell you that even the book suggested that you have like a certain little leaf or some kind of little fake branch of some type for St. Nicholas to have in his hands. But we don't do that part of the carving. That was something that Rick Butts did himself. And then this is how the work shall come along, make it so we see little things, how they're going to be, and then the work shall come along, make itself to us, see what we're going to do, and then make it so this is how it shall all come to turn out. I say we're going to rinse that brush out. There's other little things we'll do here, and I say I've demonstrated yesterday or in the last video how I did the eyes for the African mahogany St. Nicholas, and then there's going to be a little step we're going to take here. I tell you, I don't know where I put, well, there it is, that thumb protector. And then we're going to try to kind of make it so we'll demonstrate how we're going to do out the eyes on this mahogany one. First of all, there's other little steps we have to take here, like we did on the African mahogany, and we've kind of got to remove some wood from around the cheeks and the nose to make it so it's going to be a little brighter ways to come about us, and then make it so we're going to see how old little Santa Claus is going to come out. And so that's what we all kind of come to do here. Make it so we're going to see what this is going to be when we get it all done in the end, and then kind of make it so we're going to brighten things out just a little bit. I say this is where we kind of got little demonstrations to do. We're going to try to make out the eyes along here as well, where they're going to come out and be a little thing to be seen by us and heard and done by us, and how that this little work shall come along, make its way into us, and see how much we can really get out of what we're doing and what we're working with, to come down where we see the little, great little light as it comes. I say it was just like the way work does and how it comes and goes to us, and then see how it shall make its way. I do not think here we've already gotten the eyes in place. A next little step will be to carve out the eyebrows, make it so that the brows are going to be carved out right over the eyelids, and these little steps we take, that's how we're going to come up with the way we do the whole carving as it comes. Finally make it so it's just going to work a little way in us, make us see brighter, beautiful days. Oh, how work shall come along, and man, I tell y'all, make us all see how a little ways of work shall make its way to us. Oh, I say that this is going to be some brighter work we're going to get done in the end. See how that this little work shall make its way into us, and see what we're going to be. And then I say it's just kind of the work as it comes, as it goes. I say that we've kind of got little ways of making this out. Finally, we're going to get done here in just a sooner or later, in a little jiff, I say. Finally, we're making it so the eyes are going to be obvious and visible. Probably made them a little bit better on this one than I did on the African mahogany one, but as of how that's really worked, it's come to be okay, make itself better. I tell y'all that there's going to be a little thing or two to do along the way here. We've kind of got to like make the little mustache that separates from the beard. So like we've done that on the last one, in the last video. So we're going to do it here and kind of make it so it kind of has a real cheerful look. We kind of made that line first, and then we're going to take another little triangle out of the center here to kind of make it so it's going to be a great little figure for us to see. And then finally make how we come about to do the very things we do, and then make it so it's going to look just like whatever in it all just kind of needs to be. And then see how this little thing is coming its own little way. And then we're going to kind of make our way along here, make it so we can do a little thing, and then kind of like have the ways to make it out so it's coming just to what it all just ought to be. And then we see that it's going to come as its own little piece of work to make it itself out. And then this is how it's going to work its way along. We see that this little thing shall find its way around here. And then as for the work and its way it's coming along, this is how we got it. We finally got the little eyes in, we got the beard and mustache in, and then the work shall make its way around. See what we do with all we have. I say this is just little joys in what we do here with the wood, and finally got a little step or two to take, make it so we come out with the little brow, and I say this is just what it's all gonna finally, as I say, is gonna come down to being. And so, as for this little figure, we make our way about it. You gotta trim the brows a little bit, make them so they're shining their ways in. And so, this is how we get with him to make him so make it so he's just a good little Saint Nicholas. And there's going to be other little steps we take. These ones seem to have gotten done pretty fast for this video, a little faster than they did for the last one, but I think for this moment, maybe these ones over here might be dry enough that we can start to kind of paint some little beards on them. And I've got the little thing right here, so as of this, we're going to, excuse me, kind of try to paint on where we make the beard go in, and see how this is going to come its way to us. See how little mustaches and beards kind of make their way to a little Santa as we go about working on him. And this is where the little work shall make its way. There comes a time when we're probably going to take a little bit of a darker vanilla type of white to kind of paint along the ruffles here, but this is the plain white, the pure white that we use to make the beard, and that's how that's going to turn out. Probably have demonstrated that before with how it was whenever I kind of did those other Santas you saw, and those other Santas that I painted and have already been soaked and things like that from the basswood. You've probably even seen that those have been on my Facebook page. I've already uploaded them as pictures to show on there, and you've probably already kind of seen how that has sure worked out for the better. And then how we do with this little Santa Claus picture here, and make it so he's kind of like right in the world where we always see that these things are. And you know, it's interesting how before you get it all completely painted, it can almost look like a little dog with a foamy mouth. You know, always been told to watch out for those foamy mouthed dogs. They could be sick, could have rabies or something like that. So that's how I've worked along this. It also makes me think how as a kid there'd be times I'd kind of blow saliva through my teeth like, and sometimes I'd be told, oh no, don't do that. People with the rabies do that. And here comes a time where we're going to paint on this other beard. It's getting pretty close to the end of our video time, so we kind of try to not make it too long, try to keep it around 20 minutes or so. So that's what we're going to try to work on around about here, to try to make it so this is going to show in the work we are going to do. And finally, there comes a point where we're going to paint along here, try to keep it separate from the lower lip that has already been carved out. And there's going to come a time we're going to use a slightly different color, maybe some red or some pink or something, to paint that lower lip. Make sure it don't look like lipstick though, 'cause that wouldn't be the cutest thing on Santa Claus. And so I say that this little work we do kind of make it so we are all going to brighten our days a little more. And I tell y'all that a little work like this shall make its way up to us and see what we do and all we have. And as of all things, I say that this is just the way work comes, way work goes. And when it comes down to what we do, I say that we're going to finally come down with the right color beards in the right color ways, and then finally make it so it's going to look the way it needs to and look like it should. We might even go back and touch up places with flesh where we probably kind of got away from that a little bit, but this is how we're coming up with him so far, making him just like this. And then there's going to come little times later on we're going to try to cover these little cracks here, and this is probably the best I can get on him so far. And I do want to say it's getting about where we're ending our video time, so thank you for watching and take care.